Hello, Stampin' Buddies. It's Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin', playing the part of Late Night Lori once again. It's a little after 11:30 on Monday, January 27th. And one of my friends did a Valentine's card today and shared it with me. And I thought, I should probably do a little Valentine's stuff with some of the things I've got. So that's what we're going to work on tonight. If I didn't mention it, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. And I am going to show you this Adoring Hearts hybrid embossing folder. I kind of don't really know what we're going to make. I've got some things started here and we're just going to kind of lay things out and see where the materials take us as far as creativity. So I frequently use an embossing folder to make a cover sheet to go inside my envelopes when I send cards that have embellishments that are not flat. And it protects them from popping through the envelope during the mailing process. I happened to use this recently on some cards that I sent out. So I thought, I'm actually going to make a card with it, not just highlight the embossing on it. So when we have hybrid embossing folders, you get two parts. There are a set of dies and there's the embossing folder. You can use the dies alone, you can use the embossing folder alone, or you can use them together to emboss and cut at the same time. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to use this big heart die. So you get 9 hearts all cut out with this embossing folder. It fits in here. And when you're looking at your embossing folder, the side that has the logo on it, the Stampin' Up! Logo, is where your die piece or pieces will fit, all right? And then your paper will go here, you'll close it, and then I flip it over because the cutting edge is down. Make sure it's going through the fold first through your machine, and we'll cut out some pretty things. So we're going to do that in just a moment. And I am going to set this aside. Now, this does come, I'm going to bring it back for just a second. This does come with a photopolymer stamp set as well. So this is Adoring Hearts. And there are some cute other little things like the embellishments, the paper all kind of went together. But there's even these treat bags or the gift bags. So you get 8 large bags and 8 small bags. And you can see the big bag is actually pretty good size. So you could fill that with Valentine treats and decorate the front of it, maybe with just a bunch of heart tags or something. I subscribe to Paper Pumpkin and we have these quarterly add-on dies. So they work with kits like this is October, November, December of last year. I'm actually going to use these Love of Spring dies that were January, February, March of last year because I liked this love sentiment. And that was in this set of dies. So it also came with a daffodil, a foliage piece, and a label piece. But we're just going to use the sentiment. I usually will get the stamp set that goes with the dies or dies that go with the stamp set. But this stamp set just didn't speak to me. I didn't think I would need it. And now that I've seen some things, it's like, oh, maybe I should have gotten it. But for whatever reason, I didn't. But anyway, here's the smaller bag. And you can kind of tell how big that is by a D-size block would fit in there. 2 D-size blocks would fit in there, actually. So we're not using these today, but I did have them out because I wasn't sure if I was going to do something with them, but I ended up not. And then there's these adhesive back heart sequins. These are all online exclusives. I used this Utterly Amazing stamp set and dies the other day. This also is an online exclusive, and I'm going to be using this sentiment in a different way than what you might normally see used. So I think I'm done with these things right now. And this paper we're going to kind of play with. This is the Marbled Elegance online exclusive paper. It comes, you get 12 sheets, so they're two-sided. You get 6 different designs. One side is just a kind of a subdued print, and then the other side is your side A, basically. That's the wow paper. So this set of papers, one side of each sheet has some of this gold foiling in it, and then the other side just has other patterns. I think I showed this before, so that's just what I've cut some layers from. So we'll take a look at that when we get to there. And I'm also going to use, maybe, we'll see how it looks, this metallic paper. So this is a textured metallic paper, and it's a specialty designer series paper. It's in our annual catalog. So it comes with, I think you just get 3 pieces. And there's like a champagne or a bronze color. There is a bluish, let's see if it tells me, bright copper, gold, and tungsten. So this is like a silverish tungsten, kind of like my wedding ring, and the gold. So we'll set that aside. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now. So let's just, I'm going to show you how to use this hybrid embossing folder. Since it's 6 inches wide, we need our big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm going to pull this out here and hopefully not lose any of my pieces. And when we're using a hybrid folder, just like with a 3D folder, you're going to use your base plate 1. You'll put your hybrid folder with your paper in there, and then you're going to use plate 4. Plate 4 is a little different thickness than the other cutting plates, and the sandwich is just right for what the machine needs. So let's go ahead and put our paper in here. So I've got the logo side here. I already put my die in here, and you can tell there's channels in there so it holds it. I'm going to put my paper in so it's facing the die, because I want these cutting edges obviously to cut through my paper, and then I can close that. Now if you're using just a partial sheet of any kind of paper, this line will help you line it up so that you're getting your design straight, if that matters. I've used just a 6x6 piece in here, so my piece is going to fit the whole die, and we're going to end up cutting it down because our card obviously is not going to be 6x6. This is my fold side, and you can tell because the logo is usually on the open end down at the bottom, so the fold side is going to go in first. I'm going to put the top plate on here, and as I usually have to say is crank it, crank it, crank it, crank it. And I'm just trying to keep it from doing a loud popping sound. Sometimes it pops at the very end. But my machine, I've been very lucky. It's very smooth. So I don't get a whole lot of wayward folders or dies. So I think that's all we're going to use this for. Now I used my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to do some of these other things that I pre-did. So there's the mini one, same thing, you know, it's small. This one's really light, and this will do, I think, like 95% of the Stampin' Up! Dies, but obviously something like this is too wide for the channel. So if it's more than 3 inches, you have to use the big one. All right, so let's take a look at how this came out. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? I have not used this on any kind of foil paper. So that, I think, is really pretty. So those are all different designs. So you get 9 different heart designs. So I'm going to get that heart back there and set this aside. I don't know where I set my other things here. And we'll decide if we're going to use this or not. And I cut out several different sentiments that say love. I wasn't sure if we would kind of be layering this to give it a more bold look, or if I'm going to do 3 or not. And I did cut out this one as well. I wanted to show you a little trick. I know my granddaughter was stamping with me over the weekend when she was with us, and she threw the die down, and people kind of got a kick out of that, but there's a purpose to that. If your paper does not come out of your die, if you bounce it down on the table, sometimes it takes 3 or 4 times, and I'm not throwing it real hard either, but a lot of times that will help it pop out. And a lot of times the whole piece will just kind of fly out, and you just have to kind of watch it. So there's that. And then if there's any pieces left over, you can just use like the end of your take your pick tool that's got a poking thing on it. Or if you don't want to throw your things around, you can just poke these little holes, and that will help release the item. All right, so that I don't lose this, let's put this back right away. And then I think since we have everything cut, or close to cut, we can start playing. So, oh, I guess we could stamp quick too. We're going to take this, ooh, that went bright. We'll just leave it like that. Maybe that's good, I don't know. It's really bright light. I forgot it has different things on here. So this is the, or different brightnesses. So this is the Love You Lots stamp that I showed you. And I think we're just going to do this in the Memento Black. So we're just going to put that down here. And we're going to do it a few times because I'm going to trim those. And what we're going to do, I'm going to do one over because I'm not sure if I like that one. Yeah, I think we'll use these 3 and not that one. And I'll wash that off in a minute. So with your Memento ink, these ink pads are designed so that when they're closed, that ink pad is upside down, so the ink stays at what will become the top. This one, however, since it's in the base, store it so it's upside down so that the ink goes to the top of that pad. So when you open it up, it's ready for you to use. All right, so I am going to get a little trimmer here, and we're just gonna trim these things down. Hopefully I won't trim any too short. Won't like that one. Get a little carried away. I think it'll be fine. And that one I decided we weren't going to use. Now, what I'm going to do with these is, since we already have the word love, I figured we would just do you lots. So there's a Love You Lots. Okay, and I think we'll trim a little bit more off the top of that so that it kind of matches up with where I overcut there. And I cut it at an angle. That's a scrap because of how close the Y was. So there's a trick for doing this so you can get your angles the same, and you can see here on this one, my angle, to me, it looks like it's a little bit off. But if you cut your banner at whatever angle you want, and then take this piece, flip it upside down, you can use that as your template to cut the next one the exact same angle. Pretty slick, huh? I think I learned that from Shannon West, our Demonstrator Development Manager. I think that's where I saw it. It's been a while. So there's that. And I'm going to trim this one down because I don't like how wide it is. And we may end up cutting those 2 words apart too. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I wasn't really sure what this was going to turn out to be, so we'll see. And hopefully we won't go too awful long. All right, so I have several bases. I use the thick basic white. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So we are going to take these 3 bases. They're all the same. And use a bone folder to burnish that fold. See how nice that lays flat when you burnish that edge instead of popping open? Sometimes I can get it with one, sometimes it takes me a couple swipes of my bone folder. And I'm not sure if it's the pressure that I'm using or if it's maybe the differences in paper, because sometimes that is a factor. So let's get those over there. And let's decide what else we want to do. I am not going to use these, so I'll get those out of the way. And with this designer series paper, let's see what the colors are. So the colors are always listed on the back. So we've got Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo, Petal Pink, which is a very light pink, Poppy Parade, Real Red, and Gold. Poppy Parade and Real Red are very similar. This is a brighter red. Real Red is a true red. All right. And then Melon Mambo is this a little bit more pink. Okay. So one of the other dies with this hybrid embossing folder is there are these shape dies that are also inside. So you get a bunch of those as well. And I, ahead of time, cut those through the die cut machine in the gold. So you can see where I'm pushing these through with those little holes. And I want to be careful because I don't want to ruin the look of the gold. Whether I use that or not, I'm not really sure yet. We'll see. And I'm going to go ahead and put these over here on my magnet so I don't lose them. All right, so some of these bigger spots are where there's just going to be a void, and some of them are what we can actually punch or push out that paper. Like that one. So that'll go there. And this magnetic mat was separate from my glass mat. I got it from Amazon. It did not come with the magnets. The magnet is from my Stamparatus, which was an old positioning tool that Stampin' Up! Sold for a while. I'm concentrating to get these all out. And then there's also this die that has 3 hearts in it. So I cut out a few of those too. We may or may not use them, but I wanted to kind of have some things ready at the ready, depending on what we ended up making. Now, if I had just a few more followers, I could actually go live, and then if people came in, I could do a little vote. Do you want me to use Real Red or Melon Mambo or both? We'll see how it works out without having a live audience. So I think we'll move those things out of there. These are some of the hearts that were cut out like in white that I did with the gold. Hopefully you can see all those. But then here's a few of the papers that I cut. Now these layers I cut to 4 by 5 1/4, just by taking it down 1/4 inch from half a card base size. but I may end up trimming those more depending on what we decide to do. So one of the things we could do is take like these cutout pieces and trim it down to fit that layer and do something with the hearts. I don't know if I like that or not. We could do it in white. We could do it like this with the white. I kind of like this one. This one seems kind of busy, but the gold might work better. Ooh, I think the gold works better over there. And that could work really cute there. And what I thought we could do is some of these hearts could fit right back in there, or we could put them in here. So many choices. And I could have cut this down too, because it's got the embossed hearts on it. And I'm not sure if that would be like too much. That might be too much, I don't know. But you could get a bunch of cards just by having cut out a couple of pieces, you know? You just have to trim it down to size. So I think that one with all that gold might be too busy, but I may keep that for something else. I like this one with the white. So let's, what do I want to do with this? I could put a border on here. And then if I used love, I don't know if these will fit. Those don't look dark enough to me. So if we did love, you lots. So that could be like this. I kind of like how the paper along the edge of here makes this layer stand out a little bit. So we could do love, you lots, and then put some of those hearts, put a few of those hearts on there, or see, those won't show if I lay those down. Those aren't very bold. That's kind of bold, but I don't know if I like it. We could just do something like that. That would work. So I kind of like that one. All right, so let's set this off to the side because that may end up being one card. This one, I think we just need to highlight a little bit of the gold in there. We could do something like this. Layer them there. Love. I could still do the black and maybe layer it. Because I don't think that stands out quite enough. But if we put a little black layer behind it, that would work. And then we could put some of these hearts. I thought I had one of these that was open already. I'll have to open this one. But we could put a few of these hearts on here to highlight that. I kind of like that. There's a lot going on, but if we layer that, oh, and this needs to have that little loop in the O punched out. Snips work really well for that too. So we could do that. And then we have this one. So I don't think I want that red to show on the edge because I don't like it the same. I don't like it as much as I liked that one. So I think what we'll do is we'll just take a little bit off of here. I'll just take a little bit off at first. So we'll take maybe just 1/8 of an inch. Let's see if that's enough. I might need to take, yep, another 1/8. I would rather cut off just a little bit than cut off too much. So that takes it to 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Yeah, 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And this, by the way, is no longer available. This was one of the bonus things a couple of years ago that Stampin' Up! Had for new demonstrators when they joined. So let's get rid of those little pieces. So if I put this here and this here, we could even put that up on dimensionals maybe. But if we used like these, we could use all the ones that have a nice little intricate design. And then we could use the Melon Mambo of You Lots. I kind of like those together. I think that takes away from the hearts. What do you think? Although, I think that's good. I was going to say I could use these dies to cut out some white, but I think we'll just go with this. Now I could do Melon Mambo, seems to go with this a little bit better. I don't know if I like that piece or not. Maybe a couple of these little hearts work better. Like I said, I wasn't sure what I would want to use. So there's that one. I like it. There's this one and this one. I'll center that up there. Move that over a little bit, just a smidge. So there would be my 3 cards. But like I said, I think I'm going to do another black outline and layer that to make that love stand out just a little bit more. So what I would do is kind of glue these together offset. But I think that would make it stand out a little bit more. See how that is? So let me know what you think. Which one you like best. 1, which we'll call the Melon Mambo one. 2, which will be, we'll call that the gold one. And 3, we'll call that the red one, because that's more red than the others, I think. All right. And then know that that would have this one on here. All right. So let me know which one you like better. 1, 2, or 3. All right. Cool. White, pink, red. We'll go that way. And then I have all these other pieces that I could easily do just another card. And you could even like layer something out there. I don't want to make it too crazy, but you know, something like that even. Make them stand out a little bit. And I would put those up on dimensionals, I think, if I did that. So let me know what you think, or if you think I should do something totally different. Oh, here's a couple other choices too. So that's all I have for you tonight. Hope you enjoyed these on the fly cards. They don't have to be hard, but look, in just a few minutes we did 3 cards. So until next time, happy stamping.